choking all day, every day.
Whenever anyone's like, you can't just choke everyone, he's like, well, then you're next.
Yeah, chokey.
That's it. Squeeze.
What else does Anakin like to do? Why was I thinking about Anakin the other day?
Why were you thinking about Anakin Skywalker?
Thinking about getting into Star Wars again.
In what sense?
In the sense that I'll see all the stuff that I never bothered to see after I was really disappointed by that last movie.
Oh.
I really want to watch The Book of Boba Fett.
Do you, though?
I want to see the dumb Riverdale space bikey teens.
On their, like, chrome fucking land
Scooters.
speeder things.
They're fucking local government renter scooter.
So dumb. I haven't even seen it, but the context around it makes it even dumber.
I do genuinely want to watch the second, and I think even third now, season of The Bad Batch.
Well, you gotta watch The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
That's made by the original Clone Wars guys?
It's made by the original clones.
The original clones. The Bad
Django
Batch.
Fett.
Yep.
And Boba Fett. This isn't related to why I was thinking about Anakin, but this is JoJo's World, by the way, our JoJo's Parental Recap and Discussion podcast, where today we're watching the JoJo OVAs, episode 5, Judgement, The Judgement.
The Judgment.
But more importantly, I'm Star Wars again. I was thinking about like a Venn diagram of, or not even a Venn diagram necessarily, but like maybe concentric circles or something.
Just one big circle.
And so the fields.
Okay.
I haven't figured out the physical structure of this, but I know my opinions and how that will inform whatever form it takes.
Of this Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the background, the overall thing is Mandalorians,
Okay, it's big square,
Yep.
Mandalorians.
and that's color coded for bad.
Okay. So big red square,
Yep.
Mandalorian.
Yep.
Yep.
Then there's Jango Fett.
Circle inside Jango Fett.
Good.
Or are you saying there's just a name, Jango Fett, inside the square?
I haven't figured it out.
Okay,
yet.
alright.
Jango Fett in isolation, good.
Okay.
Boba Fett in isolation,
Mixed.
neutral.
Okay.
But the bits where they overlap with Mandalorians are bad. So Jango in isolation, good. Jango as a Mandalorian, bad.
Okay.
Clones, good.
Yep.
Clones as Mandalorians, bad.
Okay, yep. Okay. I'm also confused how this is physically possible. Go on.
Boba bad, but Boba as clone, good.
Okay. Yep. What about Jango as clone?
Jango's not a clone, he's the clone template.
No.
You sound ridiculous
No,
right
but,
now.
okay, but if we have a circle and there's like Jango and Boba intersect, good or
They're different
bad?
people.
I know, but like I'm just thinking of the circles, and I have to get every combination out of the way.
Well, I'm only sticking with things that actually showed up.
Oh, okay, all right. You've just got these weird hot dog
The clones
shapes.
are great, but those series of books by, I want to say, Karen Travis, where they were obsessed with Mandalorian culture, were bad.
Okay, all right. What about
The Mandalorian, from what I understand, good.
very good.
Haven't quite figured out how to square that with The Mandalorian good and Mandalorians bad yet.
Well, the Mandalorian is like a good guy. He's just trapped by the religious cult that is what's her name?
Haven't seen it. Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Bo-Katan, I think, is the one. Because she's all like, we're going to bring it back.
We got the Darksaber.
Yeah, we're going to make it right again. And he's all like, wait, but that isn't good. And they're like,
Haven't
well,
seen
too
it.
bad. Yeah.
And then Boba Fett's in this one.
Yeah, he is.
I just remember around the time those two shows were coming out coincidingly. Normal way to phrase that.
Yep.
Where it was like, I can't wait to watch the latest episode of The Mandalorian to see Boba Fett in this one, and the latest episode of Boba Fett to see the Mandalorians in this one.
Yeah.
Just so fucking tired of
There was
corporate synergy.
Yeah, there was some weird thing of like, there's literally 2
And
episodes.
one of the dumbest criticisms to make of Star Wars of all things, where there's 4 planets and everyone knows each other, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. There was something like an entire 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett is just The Mandalorian. Or something like that. And I was like, why would you watch the Book of Boba Fett if you just wanted The Mandalorian when you could just watch The Mandalorian?
There's Ahsoka, there's Kenobi.
There's Star Wars.
There is Star Wars.
Is there any other weird spin-offs?
Probably.
Bad Batch, obviously.
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
I never did watch Star Wars Resistance, and I still think I won't.
What the hell's Star Wars
One of the
Resistance?
animated ones.
What's Resistance?
Set shortly before The Force Awakens, I believe.
Oh.
Mostly about dogfighting or plane racing.
Oh, was that the one that was like 15 minutes long or something?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. Because I thought there was just some, like, It might not have been Resistance, but there was something that's like an anime version of...
You could be thinking of Star Wars Visions, the anthology series.
No, because Visions was like, they have one episode...
They have a bunch of anime bullshit.
Yeah, they have a heap of
They did the
anime
Studio
stuff.
Trigger one where they did Dark Luke and Leia, but also anime as all hell.
Oh, yeah.
And was it Alison Brie who voiced the main one?
Oh, who knows?
Maybe.
All we know is, it's JoJo's world, baby.
Yeah. I think you made the right choice there to divert me from the riff I was about to go down as Luke and Leia as maybe Funke and George Michael Bluth.
So you've been watching a lot of Arrested Development.
Yeah, but we don't need to touch on that.
Yeah.
Because today we watched the fifth episode of the year 2000 JoJo's Bizarre Adventure OVA. And much like the crimes of the Bluth family, 9/11 was still just a twinkle in George W. Bush's eye. And a simpler time, a more innocent time.
A twinkle in his eye.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was like we could get away with dark media.
And I'm sure we talked about this, the previous times we watched these OVAs. It's so jarring being so used to the incredibly vibrant color palette of the modern anime adaptation compared to the incredibly grungy and washed out OVA one. And it's not bad. It's just so different.
It's like the difference between I'm just trying to think of like a really good analogy. It's the difference between like Ghost in the Shell back in the day where everything was black, beige, and grey versus like Psycho Pass today where everything is blue, yellow, and crazy neon. And you're like, wow, my eyes hurt, but just in different ways.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's comparison between Clive Barker's Jericho, the Brown video game, and Fortnite.
Yes, it's exactly like that. It's like a comparison...
Gears of War and Fortnite, maybe.
Yeah, it's like the difference between Clive Barker's Hellraiser and Clive Barker's Nightbreed.
What's that one?
Nightbreed is about...
Look, when you sign up for the OVA episode, you're getting a looser one because we're not recapping the same thing that we've already recapped on a regular episode of the show.
Yes.
Until we do.
Yeah. So Hellraiser, as we all know, is about Pinhead and all that.
Yeah.
Nightbreed is like, I don't think it's meant to be set in the same universe, but everyone treats it like it is. Where
in the same way people like to pretend Event Horizon is like a prequel to Warhammer 40k.
Yes, exactly like that. Where all this stuff that Clive Barker has made is just like, it's all just an amalgam. Some dude wakes up with like visions of like monsters, like attacking.
It was just a pig in a Richard Nixon mask.
No, it was just a dream, but it was a vision. So he basically goes into the middle of nowhere.
An omen or a portent.
Yeah, I think he goes into the middle of nowhere after like someone hires him as a PI for like a missing persons investigation or something. Mm-hmm. He goes there and then he becomes one of the monsters because it turns out that he's prophesized as the Nightbreed or something. And then the whole thing is some police officers going, we gotta kill some dudes that live in this abandoned house.
So it's not abandoned. There's dudes in there.
Yeah, there's like a monster living there or something.
Okay, I do have a question. And this, depending on, how much we take Clive Barker's oeuvre seriously, this might be a stupid question.
Go on.
What is the becoming a monster symbolic of?
I think it's meant to be symbolic of gaining empathy for other people.
Oh, okay, because the monsters, it turns out, are the nice ones? Is it an I Am Legend situation where humanity becomes the monster?
Yes. Great. More or less. It's basically like if, you know how in every
Nick is searching for a word, and while he was searching for that word, his hand started unconsciously doing like guitar fretting.
I mean, it really did. It's like when you watch a movie, not like Frankenstein, but like Frankenstein adjacent.
Like Frankenstein, not Frankenstein Untold, I, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Dracula Untold. The Dark Universe.
Yeah, the Dark Universe, where someone starts off being like, I gotta hunt down that mummy, and I gotta kill it. And then you become the mummy, you're like, oh wait, the mummy had his own motivations and reasons for acting.
Can't believe they made that movie.
Yeah, so it's like that, but with a bunch of different monsters that are actually like... It's weird as well, because in the original theatrical release, apparently the entirety of, but the monsters are okay, got cut. So
Okay.
so it goes from this guy being like, I'm a PI, I've got to find them, turning into a monster.
I'm a monster.
And then just
flailing hook around.
Yeah, and then all the police officers come and just bomb this old house.
The end.
The end. And it's like, wait, what? What happened? But then in the director's cut,
They
obviously
should do
were
that
like,
to the monster house in Big Bad Beetleborgs too.
oh no, not Big Bang Beetle. They were the best of us. But yeah, in the director's cut, they were like, actually, no, the monsters are good. That lady's pregnant. They're just people, man.
Sure.
Like, oh, I get it now. But they didn't do that in theatrical release. They just bombed their house.
The end. Happy
The
ending.
end. Yeah.
They 9/11 that monster house.
It's going to be a lot of 9/11 jokes today.
It's so close to the when that happened and everything changed in Western society for like 10 years at least, or arguably until this day. Yeah, so that's where my head inevitably goes. Nick, you wanted me to look up, because this came out in 2000, the top movies released in 2000.
I did, because I thought The Matrix came out in 2000.
You were wrong.
But I was wrong. It came out in 1999.
So this is what was informing the Western cultural zeitgeist, I should say.
And thus Araki's cultural
Yes,
zeitgeist.
but obviously this was all written.
Well in advance.
Yeah, but
well in advance.
But in terms of maybe, I mean, theoretically, it could. I mean, it couldn't have been influential on
This
this
actual
because they were
story.
made concurrently. But you know, this was the sort of climate that this was being released in
Yeah.
terms of the Western audiences.
Okay, hit me with it.
Arguably, we should have looked at like the last 4 or 5 years for things that might have informed the visual choices and stuff.
No, they would have just been like, you know what, put a filter on it.
The 10 highest grossing films by worldwide gross in the year 2000 are
Here we go.
Mission Impossible 2.
Fuck me.
I believe that was the one filmed in Sydney, Australia.
Was that the one that starts off with the guy who gets, like, ear killed or something?
Haven't seen it.
It's like he puts on some headphones and then it just kills him.
Oof.
Something like that. I don't know.
Gladiator.
That came out in 2000?
It grossed in 2000 at least.
Wow.
Castaway. The
Wow.
volleyball man.
Yeah. Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
He was all like, Wilson.
What Women Want. That's the one where Mel Gibson can hear women's thoughts and uses it to date them.
Ah.
I believe.
Okay. How many... What percentage of the sales were desperate men being like, finally an answer?
A loose remake, What Men Want, was released in 2019. Yes.
Here we go.
Equality.
Here we go.
Hire more women psychics. Hirohiko Araki hired more women psychics when he made JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean.
Naturally.
Number 5. Dinosaur.
The fuck is Dinosaur? Wait. Was that Pixar film about a dinosaur?
It is a live action / animated film.
Ooh, okay.
Don't think I've ever heard of this.
No one has, and yet it was one of the
The initial idea was conceived in 1986 by Phil Tippett, and this is all from Wikipedia because
It's the only good source.
we've got low standards here. Conceived in 1986 by Phil, that's a long gestation period, by Phil Tippett and Paul Verhoeven, which they conceived as a darker, naturalistic film about dinosaurs. Underwent numerous iterations. The characters in Dinosaur are computer generated, however most of the backgrounds are live action.
Interesting. I'm gonna look up a
So it's like the
screenshot
reverse of that Lion King remake.
where they went to Africa, filmed everything in Africa, and then
This
put in
just seems to be a film about a bunch of wild dinosaurs having dinosaur events.
about dinosaurs doing dinosaur
A
things.
Carnotaurus hunts a herd of dinosaurs, destroys an iguanodon nest, and kills a Pachyrhinosaurus.
But like, what is it about?
The lone surviving iguanodon egg is stolen by an oviraptor, and after a series of mishaps, arrives at an island inhabited by prehistoric lemurs. Pleo, the daughter of lemur patriarch Yar, names the newly hatched baby Aladar, and raises him alongside her daughter Suri. Despite its Avatar, but with dinosaurs and lemurs, is the impression I'm getting.
Okay. Is there meant to be like a narrator in it or anything?
No, I think there's characters and dialogue.
Oh. Like human characters?
No, dinosaur and lemur characters.
Okay, alright. Gotcha. So it's just a bunch of dinosaurs going about
A bunch
their
of
days.
lemurs.
Yeah, sorry. Bunch of dinosaurs and lemurs.
King Julian, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron
No,
Cohen.
like the lemurs from
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Madagascar. Number 6. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey.
2000?
Yep.
Wow.
We're engrossed then.
Now we recognize
Nick is showing me a picture of the dinosaur saying, now we recognize it, but in fact I don't.
You don't recognize this?
I've never seen this creature before.
I definitely recognize this. Do you remember this?
Use your words.
The two dinosaurs looking at each other longingly, one of them looking derpy as fuck, and the other one looking like a what's her name from Nala from the Lion King-esque, with like slightly softer features.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. You know when Nala's got those like
Fuck me eyes.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
You said it, not me.
I'm just saying, look, Disney at the time knew what they were about, and they were like, "Oh, these kids are gonna
so
have
upset we were on the same page about
these
that.
kids are gonna have some fucked up desires when they're older."
Number 7, Meet the Parents.
Oh, with Robert De Niro
yeah.
and Ben
I've got
Affleck?
nipples, fucker. Can you milk me?
Yeah.
It's the only line I know from that movie.
And then their breakout hit, Meet the Fockers, which everyone went, they've got a sequel? What?
So was the thing in Meet the Parents that De Niro was like a spy or something, and there was like a light espionage plot?
Yeah, so I think it was that he was either a current or retired, maybe it was CIA agent or something, and so he wanted to do background checks on
Right.
this guy who was going to wed his daughter, but he was also extremely traditionalist and conservative.
Right, and he's. I know that there's like a significant subplot about Ben Stiller's character being a nurse in
Yes.
that, and that was viewed to be emasculating.
Yeah, because he was
despite the fact that it's an incredibly hard and incredibly demanding job.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the whole thing is like, dude, it's fine to be a nurse, and the dad is like, I'm not having my
You
daughter
could be
marry
a doctor.
Yeah, and he's like, well, actually,
Oh, nurse.
nurses are also quite prestigious. He's like, I don't get it. And then at the end, he's like, you know what? You're all right for a nurse. And he was like, you know what? I'll take it. Whatever. It's fine.
Baffling.
Yeah.
The 2000s were a dark time for comedy
But then Meet the Fockers came out, and it was the complete opposite.
because his parents are even hippier.
Yeah, they are like absolute maximum. Everything that you do is wonderful. You're
Why do I
achieving
know
great
so much
things.
about these movies having never seen them?
Because you grew up in the
That's
thousands.
true. The zeitgeist. I can kind of reverse engineer the plots of all these movies just from having seen all the other ones. You know,
I was going to say, just by reading the names
Yeah.
of the movies. All right, what's
The
number
Perfect Storm.
8? The hell is the
Never heard of it.
The perfect...
I'm guessing it's a Twister.
No,
like.
yes, I remember this. That was the one where literally it was just, okay, so the wind is coming from this direction, but also from this direction. And someone goes, what does that mean? And they look at the camera and
They
go,
say
"It's
the perfect storm. Dun dun.
And then every trailer is just the start of a hurricane. And you're like, it's the perfect storm. You're like, okay,
Great.
what a plot.
Number 9, X-Men.
Ooh, with Toad.
What?
Toad.
Toad?
Yeah.
Like the little Mario guy?
No, the guy who has the big tongue. And he's all like, bleh.
Don't remember that X-Men character
then-
at all.
And Storm says that line that's like, the best way to kill a toad is by frying it
That's
with
not
lightning
the
or something.
line.
And it's like,
It's just so far from what the line is.
what is it then?
It's
like,
what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning. Dramatic beat / comedic beat.
same as everything else?
Yeah.
Wasn't there another line that was like, how do you kill a toad?
In 10 days.
How do you kill a toad in 21 days? Start a zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
Number 10, What Lies Beneath.
What lies beneath?
That's like a Harrison Ford supernatural thriller thing, I think.
Oh, okay.
Chicken Run became the highest grossing stop motion animated film ever.
Well deserved.
Starring Mel Gibson.
I retract.
That's 2000 for you, baby.
The year was
A
2000.
dark time.
Wait, what was the number one? Mission Impossible 2?
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 2 was streaming up those charts.
Nick, before we start substantially discussing the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure OVA, The Judgment, in which they kill the shit out of Jay Kyle.
Yep.
Just FYI, that's the one. That's what happens in this one. They do the second half of the Hanged Man arc after Avdol got shot in the head.
Yep. Spoiler warning.
I've got 2 little bits of Araki globules.
Okay.
One is from Hiroki Araki in the February 2000 released JoJo A Go-Go, just with general commentary on the 1993 OVA, so the Egypt arc.
Okay. I'm constantly amazed at how many
I know.
JoJo things there are. But go on.
It's probably like an art book or something. So this is it's ostensibly an excerpt of an interview, but there's only one interviewer line in this. The rest is all Araki.
Okay.
There was originally talk of adapting the manga starting from volume 1. However, we would never have been able to fit everything into 6 episodes had we done that. Instead, we opted to just focus on the climax of the story. This meant other aspects were left out. But if you want to make something that's good to watch, you can't cram too much in. I guess you could say we put all our eggs in one basket. How involved were you in the OVA's production? I went over the script in great detail. I don't like it when the motives for a character's behaviour are unclear. And we know that about Araki, the master of characters saying, "This is why I'm doing this."
Literally at any given point in time, if the character is not saying what they want to do.
I mean, we love JoJo, obviously, but
Of course.
Araki dialogue to a certain extent is, you can't just say what you feel, that makes me angry.
I think the secret is that if Araki ever explains things and they're actually what they're gonna do, then we know something's gone horribly wrong.
Don't like it when motives of the character's behaviour are unclear, and by reading through the script I was able to check for that sort of thing. The part of the anime production process that interests me is the script writing stage. It's the animator's job to make Jotaro look cool, so I had faith in them to do just that.
Why did that guy drink his own piss that much?
Giorno?
No, the guy from part 6. Dragon guy.
Ah,
Feng Shui man.
yeah.
He just wanted eternal life and so
Urine
drank his
therapy.
own urine. Yeah. But why?
I told you about the, noticeable increase in YouTube views our auto-upload to YouTube of the podcast got, because I entitled the episode Urine Therapy.
You did not, but okay.
I'm sure I did.
Well, now I know what our SEO has to be from this point forward. You're in trouble deep.
And just because this is obviously and I'm sure we talked about this a lot when we were doing the anime proper, but how Polnareff just kind of has the main personal narrative for a good chunk of Stardust Crusaders, in that, obviously he's highlighted when he joins the party and it's evil, and then he grapples with,
Revenge.
well, first escaping his brainwashing, and then he's got his revenge quest for his sister. Yeah. He very quickly solves that revenge quest, and then, grapples with the loss of Avdol and his culpability in that, and the return of Avdol.
And he's like, but he wasn't dead. And then he dies again, and he's like, but he is dead.
Yeah. And then, of course, he has his own, distinct from everyone else who is much more involved in the Battle of Dio, he's got his own Vanilla Ice boss fight, where again, he, grapples with the idea of revenge for Avdol, who dies in that again.
And Iggy.
Yes.
Never forget
but
Iggy.
so Polnareff himself has such, personal motivation. I would say almost more personal motivation than the rest of the party, even though they are all there to kill Dio for personal reasons. So I just wanted to pull up the Jojonium commentary.
What the hell is Jojonium?
That's the hardcover re-releases of parts. I think it's just parts 1 to 3, but don't hold me to that. For volume 16, which has Polnareff as the cover art figure.
Ooh, okay.
When you think about characters who grew the most, it says here, who grew on the most on the journey to defeat Dio. The first one who comes to mind is Polnareff. He went from a lone wolf who only cared about getting revenge on his sister to one of the allies who supported the Joestar group to the end. It was a lot of fun drawing his growth through his battles with Stan users on the way to Egypt. For better or worse, Polnareff's lines always stand out, so readers may think he gets a lot of screen time, and also the fact that he, I would say, gets a disproportionate amount of screen time. I would say he probably... I haven't counted, and I'm not going to, but I reckon Polnareff probably has the most, solo arc battles. If you count this as one of them.
Yeah.
He's got this, he's got the Devil, he's got Ebony Devil.
Yeah, everyone else sort of has more battles, but he has the most that are relevant.
He takes the lead in Anubis for a while.
Yeah.
The Jotaro ultimately wins that. He's got the whole horrible one where he gets turned into a child.
Yeah. I can't think of anyone that has anything that has them growing until the last battle.
Yeah.
Because, Joseph
Kakuin's kind of in stasis.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have anything going on until he's dying.
Yep. What about Jotaro? Does Jotaro have any fights that make him...
Jotaro emerged into the world fully formed.
But
Tell me I'm wrong.
But did he have any fights where he went from, I'm not doing this, to, oh yeah, I'm going to kill Dio?
Do you mean in terms of his motivation, or...
Yeah, because from the start he was like, I love my mum.
Yep.
And then he was like, shut up, old man.
I love my mum, but I'll never show it.
Yeah. So he was just already there.
Yeah.
He never changed. I guess Iggy has some fights.
Yeah, Iggy, learns to stop being such a nasty little freak and
becomes more human.
Yeah.
Literally.
And figuratively.
Yeah.
And Avdol, of course, briefly grows a different personality.
Yeah, from brain damage, maybe? Unclear.
You got the Robert F. Kennedy brainworm.
We were talking about this brainworm.
Yeah. You see, he wants to get more illithid powers.
And the best way to do that? Brainworm. Yeah.
Jotaro is the main character, of course, and Joseph is the navigator. Polnareff was the best answer I could come up with for a personality and visual appearance that would still be able to stand uniquely apart from those two. He makes up for what the two Joestars can't do, so he may have always been special to me. Ha ha ha. For example, when he's with Jotaro and Joseph, Polnareff becomes a character who can both tell jokes and act serious. Polnareff's the one who always falls into enemy traps and has bathroom trouble on the journey.
Boy, does he.
If that had happened to Jotaro, it would have made him seem too careless and the story would have gotten off kilter. That's why I had no choice but to put Polnareff in as much as I did. Compared to Kakyoin and Abdol, Polnareff is a light, straightforward man who goes out of his way for others and tends to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. Thanks to that, he got a lot of screen time.
Huh.
So, sounds like you talked yourself around, Araki.
Listen, I couldn't possibly have put him in too much, but I did, and that's why he came up a lot.
Also, whenever I drew him, his silhouette always seemed to be a lot more imposing than his other allies. I based his memorable hairstyle on foreign models and sort of powered up Stroheim's hairstyle from part 2.
Oh, God.
You remember Stroheim?
Oh, I remember Stroheim.
The Nazi cyborg?
He was a fine Nazi, alright? He was fine.
Well, he wasn't as fine as Mark.
Well, Mark was a good guy. Mark was okay.
He just cared about his girl back home.
Exactly.
Not having half of his body consumed by an ancient vampire.
He was just caught up in this war. There was nothing he could do about it. Stroheim had some problems.
Fine German name, Mark.
What's your full name? Oh, it's just Mark. Okay,
like
then.
Enya. Since he got so much screen time, he also got a lot of battles. Devo, Jay Guile, Alessi, and Vanilla Ice. He fought a lot of Dio's men, and I was always worried that I might have to make Polnareff lose or even kill him. With his battles, I saw the unique excitement of not knowing who's going to come out of this alive. Similar to with the Magnificent Seven.
What the fuck are you talking about? What? Hang on, go back a second.
We'll circle back to the Magnificent Seven, I think, because I just want to finish this note, and then we can talk about the Magnificent Seven for a bit. Look forward to that.
The cowboys? Like what?
Polnareff grew precisely because he conquered so many do-or-die situations. Lastly, about the name Jean-P. Polnareff. My 3 favourite French people. Hirohiko Araki's top 3 French people.
And we're not going to find out why. Just his top 3 favourite French people are...
Alain Delon, Jean-Paul Belmondo,
okay.
and the singer Michel Polnareff.
Ah.
So I was influenced by their names.
Wait, who was the first one?
Alain Delon.
Okay, but that name has nothing to do with...
And back then, the first French name that came to my mind was Jean-Paul. There's also a famous chocolatier named Jean-Paul Heron. So I'd probably feel the same now.
But this is like me saying my favorite numbers are 5.
It's almost like he's doing that thing that I do to you on the podcast sometimes, where I say something deliberately very stupid, and then just push through.
I mean, this is like me going, yeah, my favorite numbers are 3, 6, and 9. All divisible by 2, which we all love.
My favourite numbers are 3, 6, and 9, because 6 and 9, when you put them together, form a kind of funny number.
Okay, but what's your favourite number then? Oh, well, it's 7. Yeah, but that's not... Yeah, but I like it. And my favourite street number was 7 Fun Lane, which I sometimes think about.
You lost me.
This is the logic. This is the logic I'm getting from it.
And as for how Polnareff was depicted on this cover, there's a question. He doesn't usually wear a jacket. Why is he wearing one here?
Wait, what? Okay.
And then the response? I had a supermodel / rock star image in mind. His normal clothes are very simple, so I wanted to do something extravagant for the cover. I painted Silver Chariot purple to match Polnareff's clothes.
Ooh.
The rare model.
Is there an image that we can see?
I can pull it up.
Okay. Also, the Magnificent Seven.
Yes, we'll get back to the Magnificent Seven.
I'm pretty sure that's the cowboy?
Yes, it's the cowboy adaptation of basically the same structure as the Seven Samurai.
Right, okay. I don't know if that's a jacket, but it's something.
It's kind of a jacket. It's open.
It's a statement, but it also doesn't look like any jacket any human would wear. It kind of looks like a dead carcass.
I have no problem with this jacket or this depiction. I will point out, at least on this side of this hardcover manga copy we're looking at, Silver Chariot's not there.
Sure.
Chariot.
Oh,
but I like the way he says that in the anime.
I do like this fist.
Use your words.
This fist on Polnareff under the jack. He's got like a little fist, like he's like
on his hip.
On his hip, he's just like, yeah, let's get walking. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Jojo here. That was the name of the first episode of part 2 we did.
Yeah. Because New York.
Yeah. The Magnificent Seven.
Cowdoy
Seven.
Cowdoy in the city, but Wild West.
The Magnificent Seven, Seven Samurai. Both films that I've never seen but know exactly the plot of because so many things have done it. In the same way so many things have done A Christmas Carol. And...
Yeah. So as I understand
Man, I would watch the shit out of the Magnificent Muppet 7.
Yeah, Kermit's just like, well...
Kermit's obviously your lead cowboy. Gonzo's in the mix. Probably Sam the Eagle would be some sort of senior...
Sam the Eagle?
Sam the Eagle.
The Eagle. Oh, yeah, with the big... Yeah, I'm with you now. Yeah, the very serious one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the one that plays piano? The big bear?
Rolf. He's a dog.
Is he a dog?
Fuck you.
No, not the dog that's brown. I'm talking about the light brown bear.
He's not the piano player. He's the comedian.
No, but he plays piano, doesn't he?
No, Rolf the dog plays the piano.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't believe
fucking
you.
bullshit.
Listen
man.
to me, you fucking Muppet naysayer.
They'd probably chuck Animal in there, because if I remember right, in the Magnificent Seven, there was like one very eccentric, strange samurai. They put Animal in that role.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. This one right here. There's the dog. Hang on,
okay, but clearly the dog is teaching Fozzie Bear to play the piano there.
Yeah, but he plays the piano, right? Fozzie Bear...
Well, I couldn't before. Fozzie Bear is primarily a comedian.
Okay, alright.
One of the finest comedians of his generation.
I'll have you fucking know.
Okay, I'm pulling up, and this is a... I don't know if this is a good episode or not ultimately, but I am pulling up a list of the 7 samurai archetypes, and we are going to assign Muppets to them.
Okay, people came here for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We gave them JoJo's Bizarre Podcast. So the plot of 7 Samurai is that this is not the same as 100 Ronin, or whatever it is.
47 Ronin.
47 Ronin, where...
And it's not the same as 300.
Yeah, so it's something like these 7 guys want to kill...
No, it's like bandits raiding the village, and 7 samurai come together to mount a doomed defense.
Against one village?
For one village.
Okay, alright.
They don't side with the bandits.
I mean, whoever pays more, like...
Okay, in the 7 Samurai, the Akira Kurosawa film, we have the following archetypes as identified by Infinite Jest Excellent Fancy.blogspot.com.
Holy fuck. This guy's made it.
Shimada Kanbei, the old man. The leader, a war-weary soldier and the most experienced of the 7, Sam the Eagle.
Yeah. Wait, who?
Sam the Eagle!
Sam the Eagle isn't the... No, Kermit's the experienced one.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sam the Eagle of the Muppets is defined by his age and authoritarian nature. A war-weary soldier and the most experienced of the 7.
Yeah, okay.
Either that or we can split him into 2 and make him Statler and Waldorf. But then we've got 8 samurai, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. We're not going to have the Magnificent 8. That's ridiculous.
Although we could potentially do a... we could treat... we're getting very deep in the weeds on this.
Here we go.
We could treat Gonzo and Rizzo the Rat as kind of a unit in a sort of 2 guys in a trench coat situation.
No, because they don't have the age for it. They would have
not for this archetype, for a different one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Look, maybe. Depends how we go. If there's like an outsider, that would be Gonzo.
Kazuo, the Master. An extremely talented samurai, the character is first introduced fighting a duel. No formal explanation is given as to why he decides to join the group.
Right, that's Kermit the Frog.
Sure. It is hinted that he simply fancied the challenge. Okamoto Katsushiro, the boy. Young and inexperienced, Katsushiro is the son of a wealthy retired samurai who became a wandering swordsman against his family's wishes. I'm thinking Gonzo?
What? Didn't Kermit have a son?
Oh, but Kermit's son sucks.
Oh, okay. I don't think Gonzo would be this guy. I reckon maybe Fozzie Bear, because Fozzie Bear's always a bit like...
Or that little weirdo who's like the stage manager.
Oh, not the guy who has a lot of hair.
No,
not that guy. Yeah, okay, all right. I think I know who you're talking about, but I have no idea who you're talking about.
Hayashida Heihachi, the existentialist. Cheerful and upbeat, in contrast to most samurai that are too proud to accept the peasant's offer of food in exchange for protection, in his first appearance, Heihachi is seen chopping wood for a bowl of rice. I'm getting strong Gonzo vibes.
Yeah, that feels like Gonzo. Absolutely.
Katayama Gorobe, the strategist. Jokes that despite having a strong name, he is not really that tough. He's a skilled archer and acts as the second-in-command to Kanbei, organising the defence of the village.
Miss Piggy? Strong strategist. Or do you reckon dog?
Yeah, because I feel like Rolf, that is.
Yeah.
Rolf and Kermit, they're usually on relatively the same page.
Yeah. He knows how to play piano after all.
Kikuchiyo, the Fool, portrayed by Toshiro Mifune, arguably the most famous actor in Japan at the time, an abrasive and loud buffoon who claims to be a samurai despite being born as a farmer.
Animal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me samurai. That sort of thing, right?
Yeah, I think that would be it. Yeah. He just pulls out a drum kit and you're like, what are you doing? It's like, destruction.
And finally, Shichiroji, the soldier. Former lieutenant of Kanbei, he resumes his role as his right-hand man. When asked to join the mission that will bring neither money nor fame, he does not hesitate. Although yearning for a glorious death in battle alongside his former brothers in arms, Shichiroji survives. Maybe this is the Sam the Eagle.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This would be Sam the Eagle.
Okay,
sure.
so let's rejig. Shichiroji as Sam the Eagle. We can shuffle Kermit to Shimada.
Exactly.
And that frees up Kizuyo, the master. Who are we missing from our usual... and then we can put Miss Piggy as Kizuyo.
Yeah. Yep.
Great, we did it.
We did it,
You're
everyone.
welcome, Hollywood.
Now, if they don't make this based on this exact recommendation, capitalism is won. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
The death of creativity and
arts as
Hollywood
we
is
know it.
populated by Philistines who will never appreciate true Muppet-based genius.
Yep. True art only comes from Perth, Australia.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
The pallet town of Australia.
The pallet town of Australia. Does Pallet Town have the weird, scary music?
No, that's Lavender Town. Pallet Town is the
Lavender.
starting town.
Yeah, okay, cool. We're not Lavender
No,
Town.
Adelaide is the Lavender Town of Australia.
It's true. There's nothing there, but fuck me. So this episode
Yeah,
of
okay. The OVA.
We're only 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to do a full detailed recap because everyone has heard us recap these
Yes.
events. And
And
go
there's-
back and listen to the recap section of the Hanged Man episodes of...
JJBA.
Yeah.
There's 4 main story
I don't
beats.
necessarily stand by anything I said in those.
Yeah, there's only 4 real story beats in this whole episode.
And to be honest, like, I think we, with like the strength OVA episodes, we delved into the recap a bit more in detail there because do you remember they, they put Polnareff's introduction on the
Yes,
ship?
I do.
So it was, and obviously the girl wasn't there, so things were pretty substantially different. I still consider the OVA version of Strength my favorite because it's the only one I know of that doesn't have like the creepy, like, ape creeping on the child showering sequence.
Yep. There's totally no lechery involved there, which is nice.
It's just a cool ape who wants to fight.
He's just hungry for blood.
Yeah.
He's not thirsty, he's hungry. That's it. So literally this whole episode is we open on Avdol.
Yeah, we kick open the door when Avdol has just been simultaneously stabbed in the back and shot in the head.
Yep.
And Kakyoin is talking Polnareff down, being like, "You can't just throw your life away here because that's not what Avdol wanted you to do."
And Polnareff is like, yeah.
Let me throw my life away. I'm so wroth with revenge. And then, Jay Guile taunts him, being like, "I was the one who killed your sister."
And then he gets grappled by,
The Hanged Man.
The Hanged Man.
Smashes up the glass, and then the hilarious and great sequence where they're going to do the same combo attack on Polnareff. Then Kakyoin blasts him out of the way with his psychokinetic emeralds, and then is immediately in a car driving past to grab him bodily off the floor while driving.
Amazing. And then, of course, Whole Horse is like, they're too far away.
Yep. Then Joseph and Jotaro show up for one of their 2 scenes, and Whole Horse is like, "I'm really more suited to being number 2 than number 1. Exit stage left." Whole Horse fucking rules. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
He knows what's up.
7 samurai. No, Magnificent 7.
Yeah.
With part 3 characters.
Whole
Horse is one of them because he's a cowboy. The end.
That's as far as it
Yep.
goes? Oh, man. So then they're driving in the desert. You made basically you made me question my entire existence when you said,
Where are they driving?
Like, literally, they just leave, and they're like, so, the Hanged Man.
I feel like I don't quite. It's been a while since I've watched Stardust Crusaders. But I feel like this driving sequence, it still had a bit of an air of a chase or some urgency. But in this, it just kind of felt like they just kind of cruised out into the wastes and started going for a drive.
But it's like, where are they going?
Yeah.
Like, where are they going? It's very strange.
And they touch base, like, he's in the mirror world. No, Polnareff, there is no mirror world.
And then they get attacked from the back.
Yeah, he's
windscreen.
on the bumper. Then he's in the reflective panel on the
on the ute.
steering wheel.
Yep.
Punches out their windshield, it seems, it's unclear, but then their car flips and...
They're all like, we gotta go.
gotta
Don't
get-
look at anything reflective.
Yeah, take off all your buttons and jewellery.
Yep. And then some kid is like, medicine!
You were just in a car accident. Do you want to buy some medicine?
And they're like, get away from me, kid.
Such a fucking archetype. I'm seeing it a lot in media recently of like the poor child selling medicine. Like, where are these kids getting medicine from?
They're making it themselves.
Can't be any good though, right?
No, it's terrible.
In Final Fantasy 16, there's this minor recurring character of the young girl who sells medicine. But in there it's like potions and shit, because obviously it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Well, they're just making it from what they have, which is like herbs
Herbal
and sand.
remedies.
Yeah. So when they're like, buy my medicine, sir, it's just glass.
Ritalin? Ritalin for the good sir?
Sir, have you been diagnosed with one of them neurodiversities? I can just see in my head some fucking like super conservative
Top 5 neurodiverse conditions JoJo characters have. Go.
autism. Number 1 every time.
Everyone.
Every single one of them has autism, no doubt. We're gonna get cancelled for it, but I'm saying it. Oh, the number of times I think very recently.
Apparently, so obviously we had that bit recently where you baited me into saying that everyone in Delicious in Dungeon had autism.
I didn't bait, I guided. I drew you to your own natural conclusions.
I want to circle back to that for 2 reasons. Both because
Yeah.
it's come up organically now.
Yeah, I was going to bring up also that...
Apparently that is like a common observation about those characters. I had no idea.
Yeah, apparently I only saw this after you said,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and I was like, lol, isn't it kind of funny? And someone was like, no, that's a thing. I
Yeah.
was like, what do you mean it's a thing? I can't remember who said it, but like literally everyone's like, isn't it weird how
Laios, yeah.
he's like totally autistic about monsters, and everyone's like, yeah.
And then that kind of came up in the plot where like he wasn't picking up on the social cues from the samurai guy.
Yeah.
And the voice actor who voices Laios in English was like, you know, as someone with autism myself, this sequence really resonated with me.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So yeah, you know, the comedy reflects life.
Yeah. Look, it's really weird for me to say this, but as someone who has been diagnosed with the autism, I didn't notice. I just thought that was pretty normal.
And the other thing,
I was like, oh, what?
I didn't get any pushback on this, so like no one has potentially like picked up on the same thing. But I do want to circle back to that bit we did, because I felt like there was an unfortunate conflation with the fact that the joke I was originally going to make was that, oh, they're all just nasty freaks. And then you took me down the autism path, and then I just kind of like, no, what I was going to say was this. And so I felt like I've inadvertently said that those are the same thing, which is not what I was trying to do.
Not quite what you're getting at, but we're still going to
Yes,
cancel
so I
you.
just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. No, I think it's really funny because every time I hear anyone just go, oh, well, I think there are definitely symptoms of autism. I remember I did one of our English units. We had to read the book Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
Oh, I know the name. I don't really know anything about it.
And it's basically about this kid. I think his dad died in 9/11. For some reason, 9/11 was coming back.
coincidence.
Yep. But I think his dad died in that. And then he's like really angry about it. And he meets a guy who's like mute who tries to like help him in some way. But I remember we had a tutorial where I was like, I don't like this kid very much. And everyone's like, oh, but he's got like so many problems. I'm like what? He's like, well, his symptoms would suggest he has autism. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make it... He just seems like a normal kid. And everyone was like, Nick, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, he's just a normal asshole of a kid. Whatever. And everyone's like, I mean, he clearly has symptoms. And I was like, but no.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Hey, you randomly reminded me because you mentioned 9/11 again.
Of course. As we are.
Have we talked about that Robert Pattinson movie? The one where it's like a pretty normal, like not romantic comedy, but like romantic movie.
Oh, Twilight?
No. And then at the end, like when they would have their big romantic reunion scene, instead of that, he just dies in 9/11.
I'm sorry, what? What? Hang on, go back a second. What? Is this a real film?
Yeah.
This isn't like just some
It's like this reveal that
some
that
fucking-
as he's like, yeah, I haven't seen it, so because
Yeah.
who would? But from what I understand, it goes something like, yeah, I'll meet you soon. Puts phone down. Calendar is visible on the desk indicating it's September 11. Zoom out to reveal that he's in one of the towers.
What the fuck? What?
That's how I picture the sequence going down, at least.
I'm pretty sure there's literally like a Funny or Die sketch where it's like they're doing a Mexican wave and they're like, sir, what about... And then they do a Mexican wave and they're like, that's genius. That's amazing. And then they do another Mexican wave and it's like, what about they do a different kind of Mexican wave or something, you're like, yes, this is excellent.
Remember Me, the 2010 romance drama.
40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Interesting.
Tyler spends the night with Allie, and they confess their love for each other. The next morning, Charles calls Tyler to let him know that he'll be late, as he's taking Carolyn to school. Tyler is happy that their dad is spending time with his sister, and tells him that he will wait in his office. He looks on Charles' computer, featuring a slideshow of pictures with Tyler, Michael, and Carolyn when they were younger. Carolyn arrives at her classroom, where the teacher writes the date on the blackboard as Tuesday, September 11, 2001. Tyler looks out the window of his father's office, which is revealed to be located on the north edge of the 101st floor in the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
Is that the end of the film?
A voiceover of Tyler's diary declares his love for his brother Michael, forgiving him for killing himself. Tyler is buried next to Michael. Sometime later, Carolyn and Charles seem to have a healthy father-daughter relationship, and Aiden, who has since gotten a tattoo of Tyler's name on his arm, is working hard in school. It just does this whole drama and then just derails it all to just kill one of the characters in 9/11.
What? That's not even like the start of the film.
No.
That's the end of the film. Wow. America.
Yeah, America.
So anyway, this guy's in this mirror.
Yeah, he's in the mirror, and they go to the...
Oh, sorry, not a mirror, the eye. They're in the kid's eye.
And they do the whole throw dust in the eye so that he has to go into Polnareff's eye so that he can predict his movement and cut him. It's a good sequence.
It's a good sequence. We get it.
I remember the very like sandstone-based architecture ruins that this takes place in the anime adaptation. Because of the really 90s grunge color palette this whole thing has, it feels like a burnt out, like post-apocalyptic city.
Yeah. I thought this was like ruins from an ancient time that ISIS had blown up.
The nuke has gone off.
Yeah. And we're just like, you know what? This is it. This is where we live now.
Like 2 blocks over, Tetsuo and Akira are screaming at each other. Tetsuo and Kaneda are screaming at each other.
Who the hell is that?
From Akira. Tetsuo! Kaneda! Bzz, bzz, bzz.
I haven't seen Akira. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy and bullshit, but it's good.
Yeah, I should see it. All I know is orbital laser.
Future episode. There is an orbital laser. In that sequence, as a matter of fact.
And then it doesn't work? Question mark.
Works a bit. It hurts.
It works a bit.
Yeah.
Normally, an orbital laser is just meant to destroy everything.
Yeah, but when you're a psychic, kind of ascending to a new state of being.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. When you're a super being in puberty, who knows what could happen next? So we're in these ruins.
Yeah, and then they go over to the next ruins over to find Jay Guile.
Yep.
And, as we know from the manga and the anime, he does the gambit where he cuts up a merchant. But the merchant in this version of it, he looks so dope.
It's just very like...
Yeah, I'll pull up a picture of him.
It could be a JoJo's character.
He could be a main JoJo's character.
Yeah. He's got like...
Or at least a Dan of Steel tier character.
Yeah, he's got like eyebrows like you wouldn't fucking believe that are like swirled in like...
Yeah, he's got like a sort of Frida Kahlo look going on.
And like his lashes. Beautiful, luscious lashes. He's got his pompadour coming
Something
out.
almost Super Mario about him as well.
I think it's the red hat.
That's right, he's got like a military beret. These big swirly eyebrows, / possibly a monobrow with a big swirl in it.
Big M. Bison vibes.
Yeah. He's got like little rings coming out of his hair.
It's just like...
And like a neckerchief. He's a designed as hell character. It's the perfect decoy.
It's insane.
You would never look at this guy and be like, oh, he's just a 2-shot character.
Like every other person we see in this show, whatever.
But then Jay Guile, who as we know looks like a fucked up version of Gollum, is on top of a cliff being like, ha ha ha, I'll get you down there, Polnareff. He was on level ground with them in the anime, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure he was literally like in a very small house that had been destroyed.
Or just like around the corner hiding under a ruin.
Yeah, in this he's imposing above on a cliff.
Yeah, and he calls all the beggars to come be like, these guys are going to give you money. So there's too many eyes around for him to jump between. But then, as in the other iterations of this story, Kakyoin is like, Polnareff, you've got to strike a confident pose and say, I, Noriaki Kakyoin, shall take revenge upon you this day. And throw the coin up, kick the dust,
and
bingo,
then,
bango.
Yeah.
I don't remember if the anime quite emphasized it to the same degree of Jay Guile, again, on top of the cliff being like, you'll have to kill the peddlers, Polnareff. What are you gonna do? Kill the peddlers? Kill the peddlers, Polnareff.
I don't want to kill the peddlers.
Kakyoin's like, go on, just kill some peddlers.
Just kill the peddlers.
So you feel guilty for a few days. Kill the peddlers.
Kill the peddlers, Polnareff.
Kill the peddlers, French boy.
I don't want to kill the just kill the peddlers. There's not even that many peddlers.
They just like don't matter. The cops said they're like not real people.
I'm not gonna kill the peddlers. Just kill the peddlers. Kill the peddlers, French boy.
Yep. And that's the famous kill the peddlers bit.
Is that
Venture Bros?
Yeah, but it's the guy who's making him do it. That's not Killmonger, not Killmonger.
No, I don't know who that is.
The Mary Poppins guy.
No, no.
Okay, gotcha.
It's Saint Augustus Saint Cloud, Billy Quizboy's rival.
Yes, I remember that. He was a rival. I can't remember if it was Killinger. Killinger.
Because Kissinger.
Yeah.
R.I.P. No, don't R.I.P.
It's too soon. It's too soon, Liam.
Rest in eternal torment, Henry Kissinger.
There you go.
The JoJo's World Promise.
There you go. Are we bad people?
No, he was a horrible person.
Okay, good to know.
There's just no way within the scope of this podcast we can summarise
Henry Kissinger's
the
fuckery.
Detrimental impact he has had on the state of the world.
Okie dokie.
But Anthony Bourdain can.
Is this the 3-minute video of Anthony Bourdain talking about Henry Kissinger?
I don't know about a video, but I've got a quote.
Okay.
Once you've been to Cambodia, I may have even read this on the podcast in the past. Once you've been to Cambodia, you'll never stop wanting to beat Henry Kissinger to death with your bare hands. You will never again be able to open a newspaper and read about that treacherous, prevaricating, murderous scumbag sitting down for a nice chat with Charlie Rose or attending some black tie affair for a new glossy magazine without choking. Witness what Henry did in Cambodia, the fruits of his genius for statesmanship, and you will never understand why he's not sitting in the dock at The Hague next to Milosevic.
I thought it was Reagan that was... Because we're talking about Vietnam stuff.
We're talking about a lot of things.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Fuck the presidents.
Yep, President Henry Kissinger.
Just, yeah. Damn.
He was like a foreign policy advisor or something?
Was he the guy who was like, just nuke him? Not nuke.
Let's not get into it.
Anyway.
The important thing is...
Fuck Henry Kissinger.
Yeah.
So Polnareff gets him.
Yep, he sends Silver Chariot up into the sky, piercing that coin, which cuts Jake Isle in half. He falls off the cliff and separates in the air, but then lands and is back together for some final words.
No. Jay Guile splits in half, but... Wait, is it Jay Guile?
Oh, the Hanged Man?
The Hanged Man
Sorry,
splits in
you
half.
are right.
Yeah,
you
the
are
Hanged
right.
Man splits in twain.
What struck me in this sequence is how, like, Jay Giles' blood is this, like, really, like, muddy brown colour. When earlier, the blood on Polnareff's face was the single most vibrant thing in this whole episode.
Well, I mean, he's an evil dude. Of
And
course
Polnareff has the soul of a hero.
Exactly.
His blood runs red with lust for revenge.
And also lust for hot babes.
I think I've said it before on this podcast.
Yeah.
But when you set out on a mission of revenge, you should dig 2 graves. Because maybe the guy you're going to kill has like a really tough lieutenant, and you'll have to have a cool fight with him or something as well.
I mean, I feel like in this sense, you should dig at least like 5 graves,
Yeah.
because we've had...
Jake Isle, Whole Horse, Dio, Vanilla Ice.
Exactly. It's like, you need to kill them all.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably like, 26 graves?
If you set out on a mission of revenge, you should probably just, like, get out, like, put on a pretty healthy retainer on a gravedigger.
Yeah, at least, like, rent out an excavator.
Yeah, but like sort of a mass plot.
Yeah. Listen, if you're gonna...
If you set out on a mission of revenge, dig a mass grave.
Yeah. Just like, if you
Just
can't
like
afford...
Henry Kissinger.
Fuck me. Oh, no.
And then he's like, Polnareff, no, have mercy. And he's like, you would never have mercy on my sister. Stab, stab, stab. And then, like, what was initially a cool piece of imagery is just absolutely undercut by Kakyoin. So they stab him, send him flying. He, like, collides into, like, a chain link fence and barbed wire snakes around his extremities, hanging him upside down.
Oh, like a hanged man.
Yeah, and they stand there and they look at it.
And for about, like, 20 seconds, it's just you
It's just silence. It's just like, you know, this pretty impressive bit of animation and imagery. It's like a striking sight.
And
And then I'm gonna get his exact quote.
As befits his name. Oh.
As befits his name, he became a hanged man.
Oh.
Whole horse just walks into frame and shoots Kakyoin in the head. Shut the fuck up, man. Don't make the subtext text.
So I think the best quote I've ever heard about anime, I think it was like Day 9 talking about anime.
Don't know who that is, but okay.
He's like an OG StarCraft streamer.
Okay.
He basically described it as anime doesn't tell a story. Anime explains the story to you at every possible
I think
piece.
that's pretty fair to say.
At first I was like, shut up. And then the more anime I watched, I went, fuck, he's right.
Yep.
Where it's like at every turn, they're like, we need to make a logical decision. And then they rule out every single option along the way. So you're following going, yes, that is logical.
Yep.
Except at no point would you ever stop and go, okay, maybe I would have just picked that up from, sensible thinking. Like, I wouldn't just do that. This is the ultimate bit of that where it's like, oh, do you guys get it? Do you get it?
JoJo's is not known for its subtlety at the best of times.
Yes, but
show some fucking restraint.
Yeah, but this is just like, no, guys. We know.
Yep.
He's a hanged... Wait.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
because he's the hanged man.
No.
Like the tarot cards.
No, okay, we might have to explain this more. See, the hanged man is his name.
Ah.
He's not the hanged man,
But he became it.
as befits his name.
Yeah.
Tap knows. See, it's subtle. Because he's the hanged man.
Oh, okay.
And that's his name, the hanged
But-
man. No, his name isn't the hanged man.
Oh, okay.
But it befits, because his name is the hanged man.
He's known as the Hanged Man.
Exactly.
Because of his stand, which is actually called the Hanged Man.
Yes,
his name is Jay
yeah.
Guile.
Yeah, that's his name.
Also known as Centerfold in the dub.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, which is why in this one, we actually fold him in two.
Yeah, as befits his name.
As befits his name.
We actually
Centerfold.
printed a popular run of Nudie Mags.
We actually got a copy of Mad Magazine.
Yeah.
And we got the guy who does the bit at the back
fold-in.
that like folds
Yeah.
it. Who to this day, I don't understand how he does it. But we got that. Actually, now that I do it with my hands, I'm just folding my hands together and I'm thinking you would just draw that and then unfold it. And
It's
you
true.
would just draw.
But you have to make sure it lines up.
Yeah, but you would just draw some lines. And then you'd be like...
You just use a
fold it.
bigger piece of paper.
Oh, as befits his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hanged Man.
The Hanged Man. I get it now. Oh, I'm glad someone explained it to me.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking stupid.
Kakyoin skyrocketing down the over characters rankings.
I love that literally immediately as it came up on the screen, you went, oh, nice, like a hanged man.
I mean, I was just enjoying
Yeah.
it as like...
Yeah, but that made sense for you to do it. And then Kakyoin said
And
it.
he literally ruined it.
And you literally went, fuck
I
off.
went, shut up, Kakyoin.
And then I went from like, yeah, okay, symbolism, what about to, oh, fuck, yes, let's go.
That's the end of the episode. They bury Avdol, and it's like, boy, we sure do have a quest to go on.
And Whole Horse is like, bye, thanks
Yeah.
to being saved by some lady.
Yeah, Nana, who goes on to become the Empress in the story, but I don't believe that happens in this OVA.
Yeah.
It's like, get out of here, Whole Horse. And he's like, all right, motorcycles away.
I love you because I'm leaving bye.
Yep.
And then, like, what's her
And
name?
then Enya, who
Yeah.
is apparently like a really fit babe in this version of
Oh,
it, is
hell
like,
yeah.
my son, my beautiful, hideous son. He became the Hanged Man, as befits his name. And I've got all these sympathetic wounds.
Yeah, I just much prefer in the actual anime where she's just this grown old lady. Because it's like, yeah, I like this. Whereas this one is like, how old is she? Like, how old is she?
And how old was he?
Yeah, because he seemed like
He's a sort
70.
of Hellraiser, and she's...
A hell priestess?
Is that anything?
No, I think Leviathan is something in Hellraiser.
Couldn't tell you.
It's like the puzzle box makes the shape of the Leviathan, which is like a big...
Also, her stand is
Diamond
judgment, is justice, not the High Priestess, if that's what you were going for. Was it?
No.
Okay.
But at the same time,
No, nothing.
it's definitely not a Hellraiser.
Hellraiser Muppets.
Hellraiser 11, a Muppet Christmas. Kermit comes out.
The
Well,
Muppet configuration.
What does Kermit sound like?
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. I'm Kermit the Frog. Well, we are. What is it? We're demons to some, angels to others. Shit, I'd watch the fuck
Okay,
out of
then
that.
that's the famous Muppet Hellraiser bit.
Yep.
Let's wrap it up, I think.
Okay. So,
Sorry, before we wrap it up, do you have anything else you want to say about 9/11 or geopolitics?
in general, I don't like the alt-right. I think I'm big against that as a whole thing.
I think these OVA episodes have historically been pretty loose, but we might be taking it to a new record on this one.
I think it helps that A, you're hungover, and B, I'm tired. Oh, man. But at the same time, Good times.
Good times. We are having fun.
Oh.
And we're glad to be talking about JoJo a bit again.
JoJo's is just like, it's incomparably enjoyable. It's like its stupidity circles around in on itself to the point it's incredible.
It's got a certain, as the French would say, well, I don't know what, but...
Yeah. I would say, je ne yes.
I wouldn't, because that's not anything. Nick, what were our highlights and lowlights of this episode? I can tell you my lowlight off the bat.
Is your lowlight something to do with the Hanged
certain
Man?
Noriaki Kakyoin.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Never knowing when to shut his fucking mouth.
I reckon my lowlight is probably just gonna have to be... Fuck, it's really hard, actually. Because everything in this was just like, yeah, okay. I want to... Oh, I don't know. It was just all really good. I want to say that would be my highlight, is him just going, as befits
Well,
his
you're
name.
allowed to.
It's
not against the rules of the podcast.
It's so fucking stupid. I
is.
love it. I guess my lowlight would just be like the fact that this guy, this merchant, who looks impeccable,
I was considering that for my highlight,
got
actually.
nothing. He didn't get a single like voice.
He was bleeding
line.
out.
He was bleeding out, but his whole thing was like,
Yeah.
and then he was dead. It's like, oh,
Alas. They could have made him Dan of Steel.
exactly. They could have made him anything, but they didn't.
My highlight is the big old cliff.
Oh, that he's
It
like,
just adds such gravitas to that sequence. I'm on top of a cliff, Polnareff, menacing you.
Go on, stab them in the eye, you
Yeah.
coward. Oh, so good. So good.
Just no subtlety.
I mean, as befits his name.
Yeah.
Just, why would... That had to get through someone going, that had to get through... No wonder. Araki was like, wait.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because it's Japanese.
Yeah.
But it's called in Japanese. It's still called the English phrase "the hanged man." Do you think it's a little less subtle
In
when
Japanese.
Yeah,
Because it's a different language.
yeah.
Nah. I reckon they must have translated it as, the hanged man. They have to.
I mean, they with all the stands they say "Star Platinum" or
That's true. That is true. Maybe, but even so, surely when they say it in Japanese, they would say, as befits his name, he would be the hanged man or something.
I assume so, but
So it would still be
yeah, maybe.
in English. That's not.
Maybe there's an argument about making that explicit to
Yeah.
a Japanese audience that might not be familiar with that English phrase.
Yeah.
But to us, and we've got to take it on our own terms. Some bullshit.
Some absolute bullshit. Fucking incredible. Oh, we love to see it. Well,
Okay, so we know roughly what's going to happen next in these OVAs.
yeah, I have a pretty good idea.
What I am not sure about is whether or not Avdol is in the Egypt arc of the OVAs, because they're doing Justice next, from what I understand, the Enya
Quote unquote revenge
Yeah.
of Enya. Yeah.
and then going to Egypt.
Yep.
So that doesn't leave time to do Judgement, the genie that brings back Avdol, quote unquote.
But like, surely they would just bring him back for like, Avdol's back reasons.
Well, because they also made Egypt first 7 years before this.
Yeah.
So, did they make? Are they killing him off and not doing the revival arc,
Yeah.
or is he not in it? And
it's impossible.
sorry, so what I mean to say, are they bringing him back but not doing that explicit revival episode?
Yeah, and just
Or
saying,
are they just? Is he not in that? So they've just actually killed him off?
yeah. No one knows.
Well, plenty of people do, but we don't.
The people who sent us the OVA DVDs, they know.
Yep.
Oh boy, they know. Yeah. Only time will tell.
Well, I think in terms of what we do on the podcast, I think we should at least do the next 2 episodes of the OVA, because that'll wrap up the 2000 production season.
Absolutely.
And then we'll see how we feel if we want to do the Egypt arc now or something else.
Hell yeah. All right.
Fun times.
Cool.
We'll see you next time for some more loosey-goosey bullshit.
Equal or less amounts of 9/11.
We'll find out.
But until
Until
next
then,
time,
to be continued.
continued.